Hi, I'm Leanne. I'm a lightworker and a mother to 3 special girls. I strive to continue learning, growing, and to collect new skills. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master teacher, and Akashic record reader and energy healer. I am so excited to share what I've learned and what I'm going to learn and the ups and downs of life. Thank you for joining me on my journey. Welcome to Life of a Lightworker podcast. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. It's been a while. I've been sick and my voice was almost non-existent. I had a hard time speaking and my throat was hurting, and it's still holding on. Like, my voice isn't quite right. It doesn't sound quite like me, and it just feels off. But I am back and good enough to record a podcast. So my card today is from the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, and my intention is, what do the people listening need to hear right now? What do they need to know about? And my card is Earth School. Life lessons, soul growth, sturdy, higher learning. And I love this. I don't think I've pulled this card before, so I'm really excited. So, from the book, Planet Earth is a great initiation for the soul, and the life lessons are the curriculum for which we enroll. These aren't one-time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them as we make our way through the spiral of life. And I'm just going to interrupt. My cat Gizmo, he kind of leaves me alone for the most part, unless I'm going to be doing any type of channeling or energy work. And he was just meowing at the door wanting in, and now I've let him in, and now he's all over the desk here. So I just think that's kind of funny. But I'm going to go back to the book. So I said the spiral of life. Life lessons aren't only about getting it right, they're also about getting it wrong. Remembering that Earth is a planet of polarity helps with this understanding. Each year, the study deepens more and more. If you pull this card, you're going through a difficult time. You're being prompted to remember that your soul came here to grow and learn. Try not to look at difficult times as getting it wrong. Instead, see them as opportunities for soul growth. If you can find a way to grow and soften your heart through the highs and lows, your soul is most definitely growing, which is the whole point. Pulling this card can also mean that you're being called to embark on a new area of study or growth. This could be through structured learning, such as university, school, or a training course. If you're having difficulties in relationship, you're being reminded that these are opportunities for soul growth. After all, relationships are known as the number one way that we can grow our souls while we are here on Earth. This cat, kept bugging me and like putting his nose against my hand and nuzzling me and really pulling my attention. And then I finally said, okay, if you keep doing this, I'm gonna have to kick you out. And he just sits down next to the computer. He knows what I'm talking about. It's just so funny. He's so smart, but you know, all animals can be a nuisance sometimes, but I love them to death anyways. So, back to this card. We hear this all the time, and it's sometimes taken in a way that is almost feels like victim blaming, when people are like, well, you chose this, you came to Earth, your soul chose this lesson, your soul chose this bad thing that's happening to you. And it has that energy of victim blaming. Like, I'm not going to give you sympathy, I'm not going to help you, I'm not going to give you any support because you chose this. That's not what I'm feeling for this card at all. I really am steering away from that narrative and that energy, that blaming. It's more of, let's feel someone is having a really hard time, or something really bad or tragic happens to or around someone, and it's how we're responding. It's not just them and how they are reacting. How are you reacting to somebody else's issue, somebody else's trauma? What energy are you putting into it? Are you being negative and blaming, or are you being compassionate? Are you being loving? Are you being understanding? Where are you in this as well? So whenever someone brings up that someone chose this life lesson, well, yes, they did. And your life lesson in their choice is how you show up, how you respond. And maybe bringing that perspective to other people will help them see it more clearly as well, in a more loving way. So I just want to add that in there to help counteract that narrative that seems to be going around. And maybe you can interject and shine a little bit of love and positive energy into this, what feels like victim blaming. But I'm going to read into the card and see what kind of messages are attached to this card that our higher selves, the collective, the universe wants to share with us right now. I feel like this is a bit of I feel like being prepared energy. I feel like we're on the cusp of something. And it feels like what we're on the cusp of as a collective, it feels like it's on the macro level, but I feel like this is a big thing, that it's going to affect many, many, many people. And even if it doesn't affect you directly, it will indirectly affect you. So you're going to be aware of it. And this hardship, it feels like hardship is the energy, is going to be really, really, really predominant. We're all going to be aware of it. And I feel like that victim blaming mentality of maybe it's just an example, like half the world is really struggling. They're having a lot of poverty. They're having people not being able to eat or survive. And then you have the other half of the world being like, well, you're not making enough money. You're not choosing this. Choosing to live a life like me. And that's why you have this happening to you. You chose this. I feel like that narrative is going to be really pushed, really predominant. And it's our job as light workers, as starseeds, as people who are trying to shine love in this world, be a light bulb, a lighthouse. Our job is to show the people that are stuck in that negative thinking there's another way to think. And we're not shoving it down their throats. We are just speaking our truth, speaking your love, letting people know your feelings and thoughts on the situation, not forcing it upon them, but making yourself known. And that light is going to radiate out. And the people that are on the cusp, that are more of, let's say, following along like a sheep, they're going to hear that message and they're going to feel it in their heart, and they're going to steer away from the narrative of pitting people against each other. And that's the purpose. The people that are doing the pitting, there's not much that we can do to help them, or we can do to change their minds. I feel like that's not our goal. That's not our intention. That's not our focus. Us, the people on the ground, we're the I'm going to say foot soldiers, but we're the light foot, oh my goodness, my voice, my words, light foot soldiers. We are the warriors of love. And when you feel something in your heart, when you feel that right and that you feel that wrong, we need to talk about it. We need to encourage ourselves that we can talk about it. And yes, it's going to spark these traumas and it feels more like fear in people, and they might lash out before they accept it or before they walk away. And that's their reflection. That's their energy. It's not you, and it's not your job to take care of their energy. It's your job to shine your energy on others. And I really feel that what we are being called to do is to shine our hearts in the most simplest form. And everyone's capacity is going to be different. Some people will be talking to maybe their families, maybe their friends, maybe a neighbor, maybe a stranger. Some people are going to be talking on social media to many people. Some people are going to be talking to great groups of people. Everyone's level and place is different, but the theme that connects everybody is talking about what they feel in their heart, what they feel that their soul is telling them is right or wrong, and not blaming or judging other people, just sharing how they feel. I feel that that's the common thread between all of it. And yes, we did come here for this hard lesson, for this school. This is a big class that we're all taking, and the way we can work through the homework is listening to our hearts. And that is the common theme through the macro and the micro, is following your hearts and speaking up. I feel like there's a lot of energy that's taking people and, in essence, shutting them up. And I feel that a lot lately with myself, with this summer cold that was never ending. And if it's holding on, and I feel like I need to speak more, I need to sing, I need to use my voice more to help push this energy out, because it doesn't feel like a physical sickness or illness anymore. It feels like energy lingering on. And I feel like that's a common thing with many people. We are going to be energetically kind of made to shut up. We're going to have other people's opinions, and that's going to cause anxiety and fear within us, but also there's going to be energy that's going to be affecting us physically. And moving through that with awareness. And yeah, listening to yourself too. Listening to your body. Resting when you need to rest. Because a lot of the time, we're more susceptible to these energies when we are not rested. When we are not feeling, when we're depleted. It affects us way more than when we are at full strength. Okay, and back to the energy that's coming up, that is going to be that we're going to get this duality, us against them. And I feel like when I feel that energy, it feels more than just one thing. It feels very scattered in the sense that it's coming at it from multiple different fronts, multiple different angles to try to catch everybody in the net, so that lots of people are on this dualistic thinking, and it's appealing to multiple different people, but it's the same energy behind it. It's like catching a group of wildlife with many different kinds of traps, because each type of trap gets a different type of animal, but it's the same hunter. That is what it feels like. And just being aware that a lot of these things are, I want to say the word manufactured. I want to say the words manipulated. I feel like a lot of these things are half-truths. Like, this is a problem, this is something that's happening, but then it is blown out of proportion. So it is made to be a bigger thing than what it actually is. And I feel like that is a common thread between these traps. And being aware that traps are around, And these traps are trying to make you pitch you against other people. That is the goal, is to foster that hatred and that judgment within us. And we can counteract that by just being aware, knowing, oh, they're trying to trigger me. They're trying to pit us against each other. I'm not going to fall into that trap. I know that this person has been triggered by this. Something in them has activated because of all these things going around, but it's not necessarily their fault. It's not necessarily something they can control. They don't have the skills and the tools to look past it. So I'm going to use my skills and my tools and my awareness to not engage. You can't continue a fight if you have someone walking away. If you have someone not wanting to play the game cannot continue without multiple players. The game doesn't get very far if there's just one person playing. So that is how you win. That is how you no, it's not winning, it's snuffing the energy out, snuffing the candle out. That is the goal. So, depending on where you live, what circles you're in, what content you are around, your community, the people you're around, you're going to have different types of traps set out for you. And if you focus in on your heart, live from love, react out of love, and if you have a hard time reacting with love at the very first glance, that when it first gets triggered in you, take a break. Take a step back before you react and collect yourself and then respond. Because I feel like the slower the response, the easier it is to work from your heart. So if something comes in, it goes right to your head, or you want to just send out energy and react, imagine that energy coming in down to your heart, swirling around your heart. Take a minute to send love, hug that thought before it comes out of your mouth. And just taking a couple extra seconds to surround that thought with love will help find the right words and find the right energy so that it lands in a way that is well received or in the best way possible. And you're not responsible for how other people react. You're only responsible how you respond, how you react. And other people's choices after the fact or before have nothing to do with you. So continue focusing on yourself. And yeah, let me just see if there's anything about when this might happen. I feel like it's already started. I feel like it's brewing. Let me see. I feel like October is really where it is. Like, I feel like it's ramping up again in September. Like, compared to now, September is going to be more than now, but it's going to be a lot more in October. And it's going to be continue on into November, but I feel like October is the peak, or what will feel like the peak in the moment. And yeah, I feel that as of right now, the energy at the moment, and of course, when future timelines, anything anybody does can change things. But this feels pretty set in the current timeline. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be any jumps or changes, but I feel like no matter where this goes, these traps are going to be laid. They're going to be attempted to be laid. So being aware is crucial. Let me see. So, anything else that you might need to know? Feel like rest is really important. Listening to your body, listening to your energy, rest when you need to rest. I always hear this. Rest when you can, because when your body makes you rest, it's not at a convenient time. So, listen. Don't make your body shout. When your body's whispering, listen. So take more time to do relaxing things, things that are fun, things that bring you joy, things that fill you up, and give that a priority over the things that feel more draining. So rest and fuel up. Bring joy into your life in a restful way. Okay, let me see if there's any last messages. And nothing is popping up. I feel like I was just shown a river, like floating down a lazy river. It's, as always, going with the flow, not fighting against the current, taking it more of a relaxed approach. It doesn't feel like this is a proactive, getting things done before you need to and get your ducks in a row. It feels like as the currents come, you respond, but it feels very like relaxing and nonchalantly, like, oh, this is happening. Okay, we'll do this. Oh, look, another bend. Okay. Ooh, look at this. Look, there's a bird. It feels very flighty, but in a good way. And I feel like we're encouraged to be in that energy at the moment. It helps reduce the stress and anxiety. Let me see. Yeah, that's the last little bit. Okay, so thank you for joining me. If you would like to contact me, my website is spruceenergyhealing.com. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all Spruce Energy Healing. And if you have any questions or want to reach out to me, I would love to hear from you. I hope you have a great day, a great week, and I will talk to you next time.